Hey guys, xTenkai here. Today we are going to cover everything you need to know about Torchlight Infinity, and this is made for normal players who want smooth progression through the campaign and early mapping, but we are going to talk about skill muling, early crafting tips, and progression as well. And I know that a lot of players struggle with progression, right? So the first thing I want you to understand is that the campaign is not the goal here. You shouldn't be losing time on it, and that's what I'm going to try and help you with, okay? So the first thing I'm going to show you is the skill muling process and why you should do it for certain heroes, okay? So let's go. Okay guys, so now let me show you exactly how to do this skill muling process. I'm going to do an Erica one, and it's really common for Ericas and Rihans because they start with a really awful skill, and all you need to do is to create a Rosa 2, the Lightbringer Rosa, and as you can see she does have incredible physics. And let's start so I can show you the whole process, okay? I'm not going to skip through it because some people might get lost. It's really simple, but
Thank the god.
we should just take a few minutes to complete it, okay? We have to be level 3 in order to do it.
The amber here is spreading again.
It's really
because of the
simple.
amberons.
Just have to kill the first boss.
Partner, let's go. It's time to take out all these intruders.
I'm here on leave. The Chosen's orders to take this spar.
Agitos? I knew it. You were behind all of this.
May Mercury fill your broken soul.
You're still doing the physical. I guess burning this place to the ground is the only way to make you give up.
And a tip to not die to this boss. You see that I'm always attacking and moving and not using my potion without thinking too much. I know it's a really simple boss, but some people die to it, okay, and lose some time.
Lean fled toward the ancient
Okay.
tunnel. These people, they sacrificed
just-
themselves to stop Lean and the Agitos. We must catch
When
that traitor.
we unlock the
Allow
first
their
link to
sacrifice
the
be
main
in
skill
vain.
is when we can do the skill muling process, okay? So bear with me,
Your
it's not going
pursuit
to
will
take
continue. Enjoy this
much
world
time.
without its spark. Look at the ember growing beneath your feet. This is the true nature of the world, and the spark is merely a seed of lies that conceals the truth.
Clean your mouth before begging.
Almost there. can do it already, so let me just... Yeah, now we've killed that last boss. We are level 3. Now all you need to do is buy your skills that you want to transfer, okay? And then you have to add an online friend to your friends list. And how you do that is press enter, go to the word section here, see the last person who talked, and add him as a friend, right? I already add this, guys, so you could add a friend here, check who's online. It has to be online. You click on his hero image. This gift option is going to appear. You click there, and let me just move myself real quick. You're going to see that we have this button right here that says stash, right? So now you just have to stash the skills that we want, and done. Now when you create the character that you want to receive the skills, you just have to do the exact same process, but you will click in gift, go to your stash, and take them out, right? So it's really simple. It's not really a secret anymore, but it will definitely help you. So enjoy. Sweet. Now that you know how to skill mule, let me talk you about a really silly crafting tip actually, but it can save you a lot of resources if you use it properly, okay? So the crafting system in Torchlight is really simple. It's really similar to PoE, but not that complicated. And we have prefixes, suffixes, and we have basic affixes. We have advanced affixes that are limited to 2 options, and ultimate affixes, okay? So let's see in prefixes we only have 2 advanced affixes, and we don't want any of them, okay? So we want movement speed and critical strike damage. And how we increase our chance of getting those mods that we want, okay? Let me show you real quick. We are going to craft a random advanced affix. We got reaping duration, and now that we crafted this one, you know that we can't get it anymore, okay? So we reduce the number of mods from 4 to 3, and now we can use an autocraft system to try and get the mods that we need, but with an increased chance because we don't have the reaping duration option anymore, you know? So it's really that simple, but once you start to spend flame elements to craft your gear, you will thank me, and you will remember this technique, okay? And now we have 3 mods again, but we need to change it to movement speed as well, okay? So I'm going to show you how you can apply it to basic affixes as well, okay? So let's see if we get lucky. Only 250. Okay, so never mind. We're not lucky. But I'm going to craft this boot with gear energy shield, damage, and percentage gear energy shield. Okay? How can I increase my chance of getting those mods? You can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mods here. So the chance of us getting the mod that we actually want is really low, okay? So we are going to craft mods that we don't need. Okay, critical damage. Let's craft here life, we don't need. And now that we have only 1 slot left, and we got gear energy shield already, so that's great. So now that we have all the prefixes with mods that we don't want, or just to eliminate a few options, we can try to get the mods that we actually need. Okay, so you just select those ones. See, it's really more easy to get them. Now, let's see if we get lucky. Okay, so you get the idea, right? You can do it for rings as well. So, let's say you have to get intelligence in your rings, but you don't want any other options here. You just have to craft a random mod to eliminate the possibilities, okay? That's the idea here. Now, let's talk about progression. I'm going to leave in the description the exact steps that you need to check and follow to get the most effective damage boost for your character. And this works for every single build, okay? So, let's talk about the first steps that you need to do is, even before the checklist that I'm going to leave in the description, people always struggle when they reach the tier 5 maps, okay? Because they're trying to save resources to craft only tier 2 gear, and that's a mistake, right? Because you actually need to upgrade gear to reach the tier 7 maps. So there are a lot of OP builds that can reach that kind of damage with no gear at all, but that's not the case for everyone, right? So you should be getting gear from tier 5, tier 6 maps and craft them with tier 3 mods. You don't need to craft every single mod, but the main ones you should be aiming for tier 3, like attributes, critical damage, critical strike rating, damage, anything that will increase your damage should be tier 3, okay? And when you reach tier 7, you are going to start dropping gear that allows you to craft tier 2 mods. And as you can see, this character here deals a lot, almost 6 billion damage, and I have tier 2 gear in it as well. Okay, so this is the first step that I need to talk about, is that people always don't really take it in consideration how big of a boost it is as stats to go from the tier 3 to tier 2, and especially attributes, right? Because attributes here in Torchlight, they work kinda different from any other action RPG, because every stat that you get, like 1 int, you will get 0.5 additional skill damage. And that additional is the key here, because it is multiplicative. Shit, I can't say it, but it's a multiplier, right? So if you get 2 int, you will get 1% multiplier of your current damage, okay? So this is the first step, and after you get all the tier 2 gear, you should be able to kill the Traveler 7, this boss here in the middle. And we have an event for it every league start, that the fastest 10 people of each class to kill that boss will get a reward, okay? And I'm talking about currency to get new pets and everything like that, okay? So after you kill the Traveler 7 boss, you farm a little bit more and get more tier 2 mods that were missing. You should be aiming to fix your energy levels, okay? Because energy in this game is really important, because it's responsible for the links of your main spells in your auras or your curses, debuffs, or empower skills, etc. Okay, so you should be aiming to get at least 500 after you kill Traveler 7, and I can assure you that it will be a really huge damage boost once you fix all your auras in your skill setup. Okay, after that you will be looking at getting good yellow memories and upgrade it to level 40, because when you do that you will get 2 extra mods that you can change it. Okay, let me show you real quick how can you what I'm talking about. Okay, imagine if I had erosion damage as my main damage, it will be a really good memory. Okay, so this is the next step that you have to do after fixing auras and skill setups. And in the meanwhile, you should be looking as well to get basic Tetris. And I mean Tetris is those slates, right? Divinity slates. And you should be looking to get at least one legendary mod with additional damage. Okay, let me show you an example so you can actually understand what I'm talking about. You're going to search for additional damage mods, for example additional max damage, and you're going to see that we are kind of late in the league, but you can see what I'm talking about here, right? You can spend 10 FE to get 2% additional max damage for your class. Or let's say you are looking for trauma damage, for example, additional trauma damage, right? You have 3 FE, 8 FE, and you don't need to get the best in slot right now with all 3 legendary empty talent nodes. Okay, like this one for example. No, you don't need to do that. Okay, you just have to get at least one good mod, one good legendary mod, and make sure to upgrade the empty slots to at least purple, right? So that's the early stage, and when you do that you should be really close to 1,000,000,000 damage. I mean it. I'm not joking. If you do this properly, you'll be getting a really close, or depending on the class, more than 1,000,000,000 damage. Okay, and now we go to the mid-game phase, and it is when you start to craft level 100 crafted bases or level 86 crafted bases. And I'm going to show you an example here as well, so you can see what I'm talking about, right? So imagine I have these ones here that are level 82, and they all have tier 2 mods, and I need to start crafting tier 1 mods, right? So there's a few things that I can do here, and I can look for level 100 bases, or I can look for, let's say, level 86 max 90, just to avoid level 100 bases. And I'm going to look for inch, for example, that are tier 1. Okay, let's see if I have a few options here. Okay, imagine that in the early days in the league, a lot of this gear will come up to the trade house really cheap, and you should aim to get those kind of bases because you already have a really good tier 1 mod and you only have to craft the other ones. Okay, so it might save you a lot of resources to do so, and that's the next progression you have to do. You have to craft tier 1 mods for your weapons at least, right? For your gear that gives you damage. And again, you don't need to get every single tier 1 mod. You just have to get the main ones. For example, I'm going to talk about my build here, right? So what would be the main mods for my class? It would be the reap duration here and the percentage of the skill damage as base trauma damage. I'm 100% positive that if I had these two mods tier 1, my damage will go up 100%, okay? And I mean by a lot, right? So the next step is start to stacking additional damage, and how you do that is to get better talents, better slates actually, and pedigrees as well, right? So additional damage, like I said before, is a multiplier of your damage, and after that a few builds will need to reach a certain cap of critical chance as well, right? And after you do all of that, you should be really close to 2 to 3 billion damage, and you should be looking right now to your first build defining unique, right? For example, for code builds, they should look like, let's see if I can, like Israfel Sorrow, for example, right? This is a really good and unique in the early days of leagues for cold damage builds. You can get Israfel laws as well, and not right now, but they are really expensive in the early days of the league, and that's what you should be looking right now, because they can upgrade your damage with, like, for example, you have 6-7 focus blessings, and this glove alone will give you close to 100% additional cold damage, and that's 100% more damage, right? So after you do that, you will upgrade your Tetris, your slates, to 2 to 3 strong legendary mods, right? That's no secret to it. You just have to follow progression in small steps. You can't farm yet in Profound. Your goal here is to reach 100 billion damage as fast as possible, so you can actually start farming properly, okay? And the late game progression is to optimize Tetris with this guy right here, with Braid. And what it does is it copies the last mod of each slate that connects to it, right? So you can see there I have 12% additional trauma damage, I have 12% additional trauma damage, 12% additional trauma damage as well, and in this one, the last mod here is 12% additional trauma damage, but I didn't craft this talent nodes on purpose because I wanted it to replicate every single additional trauma damage, you see? So instead of 4, I have 8 mods right now of additional trauma damage. And I will show you in the dummy what I'm talking about here, okay? So you can see the difference. So this is my current damage, 6.6 billion, right? So now let me remove a single one of those, and you will see the difference. See, I lost 1 billion damage with a single slate, and and I can really assure you that this is a really cheap one, right? Because I could have a max channel stacks one, and we have a variety of mods that could be better, okay, for a lot of builds. So you just have to focus on what you can get for cheap that will increase your damage by a lot, right? For example, the most common mistake is when people reach this kind of stage, when they hit like 3 to 5 billion damage, they start to look for double corrupted unique items are always really expensive, and that's a mistake, right? Because sometimes your damage is only going to increase by 15-20%, and you can do a lot with that currency, right? And I think that's it. Okay, so just make sure to follow. Each time you feel like you're lacking damage, go to this checklist and see what you need to improve before you go to the next step. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoy it. I really try my best to explain it. English is not my main language, so I'm really struggling sometimes. But that's it, guys. I hope you guys liked it. Make sure to comment everything that you think is important for new players to know, or how I can improve as well. And that's it. Let's make Torchlight our community great. Okay, so I really like this game, and I would love to see new players joining every now and then. The game is really good. Okay, bye guys.